We'll discuss the theory of alienation by Karl Marx. Before we begin, I just want you to sit down and think of that one hobby, that one thing you are really passionate about but could not do yet. It could be dancing, it could be singing, painting, photography. We all have this one hobby that we're really passionate about, but due to some inevitable things, due to some situations, we are not able to pursue it. It could be photography, painting, singing, and we could not do it because perhaps we were too occupied with our profession, with our studies, did not get enough support from our parents, not were not enough appreciated. So what happens when we lose this creative side from ourselves? We lose our true being, because man is creative in nature, that is his true nature. And when we lose this creativity and get occupied in just the hustle of our lives, we become alienated. So it is a very slow process. It does not happen in one night, but it takes place slowly, and before we realize it, we are alienated from our true self, from our creative being. So, if we go by the literal meaning of alienation, it means the state or experience of being alienated. That is, we feel separated from something. But when Karl Marx talked about it, he talked about the labor, the capitalists. How did they make the labor work so hard all the time that the labor gave all of their time, energy, everything to the capitalists, and they had nothing for themselves? So, the cause of this kind of alienation that takes place in the capitalist society, according to Marx, is the structure of capitalism. The very structure of capitalism, it asks for the labor time to capitalists. Give your everything to me. I am the owner. I am the capitalist. So, in return, what happens? The labor, he loses his time, his interest, his enthusiasm, his appreciation. And what happens when you do not get appreciated enough for one work that you've done? Gradually, you stop putting focus into it, putting energy into it, and you just do it for the sake of it, be it your job, be it your studies. If your parents don't appreciate you for getting good marks in your exams, one day you will stop working that hard because you will always feel underappreciated. So that is what Marx talks about. So in his theory of alienation, he has talked about four basic components that are what the laborers, they feel alienation from one product to another, and then to from the workers, their colleagues, and then from their own true self. That is the last stage. So we'll discuss this one by one. First is alienation from productive activity. So like I said, we all are born creative, and that is our true being. So when we are not able to use our creativity, we feel there is a loss of satisfaction, recognition, and a sense of identity. So, when this happens, Marx called this as de objectification of labor. And objectification of labor is when the true potential and creativity of labor is used in the job. So, you may have read many labels in the products today which say that the product is untouched by human hand. So you see, the product is not even touched by human hand. It has no creativity. The labor only does what he is told, a 9 to 5 job, or maybe even more, long working hours, fixed pay, fixed wage, and no creativity, no personal touch. So this is objectification of labor. Sorry, de objectification of labor. The second step is alienation from the product. What happens is, when the product is only made for the market, for the consumer, the producer does not have control over it, and of course, the labor has absolutely no control over it. So, it leads to alienation from the product. Now, the third is alienation from fellow workers or colleagues. What happens is we become so competitive. We want that incentive, that promotion. We want to succeed and go ahead. That's why we lose touch with our fellow workers. It's all about conspiracy, planning and plotting, and moving far ahead from them and keeping busy in our own lives. So, this is what leads to alienation from fellow workers. The last stage is alienation from their own human potential or from the self. Ultimately, or lastly, what happens as a result of all the above three kinds of alienation? Gradually, individuals become alienated from the self because of the unfavorable situations, loss of interest and appreciation, and all of things. They feel alienated from their own true self. So, Marx believed that this happened because of the nature of capitalism, where the workers are alienated from the product and from their own selves. And according to him, the solution is again a revolution where there is an abolition of capitalism. And he also said that as a result of alienation, there is no interconnection among the people, no creativity, people are unhappy, not satisfied. He also called it as crippled monstrosity. There is no head work, no use of brain or head, and only the hands are to be worked for the production process. And the mind goes in a single direction because when you do not have to use your creativity, you just have to go, you have to do what you're being told, and that's that. So, this is what the theory of alienation, according to Marx, is. Now, the goal that Marx wanted to achieve was communism, where there is no class, so nobody can tell others what to do and what not to do. So, the humans then only will be able to work with their true self, to feel connection between themselves, and only then the man will feel connected with his own identity. This theory was criticized by Mills, C.W. Mills, who believed that non creativity does lead to alienation, but he said that it will be found mostly in the service sector because they do not have to use their brains there. And according to him, capable objects have been replaced by capable subjects. Please remember this line for your exams. So, nothing more to study here. We'll quickly discuss the questions. When the individual stands up against the group, the process is called, so this process is called alienation, where he stands up against the group. Moving to the next question. In Marx's theory, the mode of production means, so when he talks about mode of production, he talks about the organization of a society's technical and human resources. So when you organize the resources in the society, whether human or technical machinery and everything, this is what is known as mode of production according to Karl Marx. Last question is, according to Marx, work in the capitalist society offers no intrinsic satisfaction to the worker because it is forced and done for someone else. This leads to which of the following types of alienation? So when you are not producing for yourself but for someone else, and you're not getting anything in return except for very basic wages, this is when the workers feel alienated from the process of his work. So the answer will be B. Thank you for watching the video.